Good afternoon, students. Now, day before yesterday, the classes for this live virtual classes has started. And in the first class, we had covered the first introductory chapter, that is Introduction to Business Economics, and that was dealt in detail. Although Madam Tandon has already explained in detail all the finer points that is there. In between, I also told you regarding some important aspect from the examination point of view. So mostly that is basically to create an interest in the subject, because that is the introductory part. So that is been taken care of. And now today onwards, we are more into understanding the economic concepts. The basic thing that is in economics is demand and supply. So today we'll be starting on that. So as you develop the understanding of these concepts, now going forward in macroeconomics or macro or anything like that in economics, these concepts are important, because the terminology that has been used frequently here is used throughout. So try to understand the basic concept that is being taught in the class, and what I had told you in the earlier classes also, that revise the things that you are learning here, so that you are already whatever the concept that has been taught, although the people who have studied economics in 11th and 12th must have a basic understanding of what we are teaching right now, because mostly that is part of our introductory microeconomics. So they must be aware of that. So we will try to make this teaching experience more interactive, more informative, and more as a learning process, because ultimately whatever that we are teaching is what has been prescribed in your syllabus. And one thing that I want to make it clear, that reading that the course module that has been provided by the Board of Studies is very important, because mostly in objective type of questions are from the course module only. So make it a base book, revise this concept that has been taught, and definitely you will feel that you have understood the concept, and you have confident enough to for appearing in the upcoming January 2025 examinations. So now onwards, we are more into the economic concepts that is there in the whole economic module. So over to you, ma'am, for taking this session forward. I think it will be a nice exercise for both of you as a faculty and the student and me from Board of Studies side also. So hoping for a fruitful session ahead. Ma'am, you can continue.
Okay. Good afternoon, students. Sir has already shared with you the last class what we have discussed. Number one, why this economics, business economics, you have in your foundation. Number two, that how different economies, they use the concept of decision making, whether it is about price and output. So this is what we have shared. Now, in the last class, we had discussed about that consumer is very, very important, or the consumption for any economy is very important, isn't it? Because if there's no consumption, you are not creating demand. If you're not creating demand, then producers will not be supplying. If producers are not supplying, that means investment won't be happening. Investment won't be happening means there will be no level of employment. So if not employment, then income won't be there. So it's a complete circle, and it starts from consumption. And consumption can be created through the demand. And the demand is created by whom? By we, the consumers, by firms, and by the government, isn't it? And by the international players also. So demand is the core, which creates all other verticals of the business. So today we are going to discuss about demand. What are the factors which decides about the demand? How a layman says demand and how economists, they understand and they analyze the demand. What is the difference between the term demand used by common man and demand used by economist? So you being students of economics, you will understand better that what is the difference between demand defined by layman and demand defined by us as people, those who understand economics. And then what are the factors which leads to increase in the demand? So me being an individual, you being an individual, for the same good, both of us may have different demand, but the price may be same of the good. So what are the factors which makes difference in terms of your demand being different from my demand? Okay, so that will be the determinants of demand. And apart from that, is the demand for the good is same as quantity demanded, or there's difference between the demand and the quantity demanded? Are these two terms interchangeable? Then if price is the only factor which governs the demand, or there are other factors also which affects the demand of the good. And then why it happens when the price of the good increases, demand for the good decreases, and the vice versa case. But is it always true that this is how it works? That when the price of the good increases, the demand for the good decreases, or there are some exceptions where you may see the difference. So we will be sharing all these concepts as we proceed. And I would request all of you to refer to your course material because that's very, very important. That will help you to connect. Okay, so in 2 hours, we will be sharing all the concepts related to demand and its determinants. But at the same time, you're also supposed to follow from the book. And apart from that, last class notes will be uploaded today. And your queries, if any are there, will be taken care on the basis of that in the next class. Okay, so don't worry about your queries, that we duly address. So today's topic which we are sharing is demand and the factors affecting demand and how the demand changes and how demand makes difference in terms of firms, government, individuals, all fronts. Okay, so today we are sharing demand. So the topics which we are going to cover are, number one, what is the meaning of demand? How demand is different for we as compared to common man? What are the determinants of demand? What factors drive demand in positive manner or in a negative manner? What exactly is law of demand? Why is it so important for an individual, for the firm, for the employer, for the employee, for the government, for any player? Law of demand. Okay. Then movement along and shift in the demand curve. This is also known as expansion and the contraction in the demand curve, as well as increase and decrease in the demand of the good. So this will be the flow of today's discussion. Okay. So the first and the foremost, how we differentiate demand as compared to any common man. So we differentiate demand with respect to the core parameter that you have a desire. So I want to buy Apple iPhone. Okay, that's my desire. I want to buy Apple iPhone. That's my desire. But is my desire is equal to my demand? What are the other factors you have to take care about? So demand is only not by having desire for a good. That means you want to have it. But you should have capacity to buy that good, isn't it? So I should have enough money to buy an Apple iPhone. If I do not have enough income, then I can take it on EMI. If I take it on EMI, then I should have a credit worthiness so that I can repay the amount of EMI over the period of 2 years, 3 years, whatever it is. So I can have ability to pay in terms of income, what I have in hand, or in terms of credit. So I can pay through the credit also, but I have to repay the credit amount. So that's equally important. What is my credit worthiness? That is fine. So this is the desire, ability, and willingness to buy. So I want to buy an Apple iPhone. I have the desire to buy. I can afford to buy, but suddenly there comes some important decisions which I have to take for my income, where I have to spend money. So suppose I'm not well, I have to go to the hospital, and hospital people say that you have to get admitted and you have to pay these bills. Then I'll think about, okay, let me postpone my decision to buy now. So willingness to buy is equally important. Will I be able to devote that much quantum of money to buy my good? So these three factors are very, very important, which defines demand for the good. In economics, and you being a person who are studying economics, you will always correlate demand, or you will always say this good or service has a demand if you have all the three parameters. That is desire, ability to buy, and willingness to buy. Because you may have some other assignment also, so you may postpone it for the future day. If that is the scenario, then it is not the demand. Okay, so these are the three factors. You have to keep it in mind all throughout. So you may have objective questions based on this also. So if two parameters are meeting, then you should understand that this will not be demand. Reason being, third one is not there. Okay, so do keep into consideration all these and start connecting with real life examples. One I've quoted is Apple iPhone. You can connect with any other product or service which you want to buy, but all other riders, are you able to meet or not? Then only it will be effective demand. This is how we in economics differentiate demand with respect to anything. Okay, so when you read in the newspaper that the demand for the good is increasing, what it means? What it means? It is simple broadly that the demand in festive season, the demand for besan, you understand, chana dal powder. So besan demand is increasing in festival season, and the price of chana dal is increasing, or the besan is increasing. Why is it so? Because people make laddus, people make mithai and everything. So they need besan. And since they need that chana dal or besan, which is the powder of chana dal, then in that case, the demand will increase. But this demand is demand which is created by whom? Those who want to make laddus, those who want to make products. Apart from that, who else? People, those who can buy, and those who have a priority to make laddus. Okay, so that's the demand. But what is quantity demanded of any product? Quantity demand is that the price factor. If besan is quoted at 100 rupees per kg, that is quantity demanded. What are the two parameters we are taking here? How much quantity and at what price? That becomes quantity demanded. So you differentiate between demand and besan demand is increasing. That means all the three riders are meeting. Quantity demanded means what? Quantity demanded means you are taking care about the price at which you are going to buy X amount of that good. So you can see here, quantity demanded is expressed as the feature which has black tea. This black tea has a component of 775 rupees per 100 grams. So you can buy 100 grams at 775. Quantity demanded, which has a factor of price. So do remember that price is always there with the demand of the good. That is quantity demand. Second, so different demand at different quantity demand. So suppose the price goes up to 800 rupees per 100 gram. What will happen if the price goes to 800 rupees per gram, per 100 grams? Then people may be buying less quantity demanded. So the quantity demanded will decrease. But if the price of black tea goes to 500 rupees per 100 gram, then people will be demanding more quantity. So that means the quantity demanded will increase. Apart from that, another important parameter you have to consider for the quantity demand is it's a flow concept. Why is it a flow concept? Because it's a continuous process. You purchase over the period of time. Okay, so I say that this MBHI wala, those who make chai or chayos, they make black tea.
Just 1 second. This class is for foundation level students.
Yes.
Not for the people who is already cleared the chartered accountancy course.
Yes. So I don't know why this value is freezing.
Yes, yes.
Who is Kedia?
So shall I proceed?
1 second, ma'am. 1 second.
Just 1 second.
ये आशीष कह दिया।
Hello?
Yes.
No, no. CA Assis? Remove करो. Okay, ma'am, you can start.
Okay. So quantity demanded, what is the difference? See, actually बहुत important है to understand the difference between demand and quantity demand. Okay. So demand में हमने क्या कहा? Demand is about all the three parameters. You have willingness, you have desire, you have willingness, and you have capacity to pay, all the three components. But quantity demanded means what? The price and the demand together. So it always has a price because आप ले रहे हैं वो good. So you will be buying at a specific price, no? And as the price will change, your quantity demanded will change. So it's a flow concept. Why it is a flow concept? For example, I say MBA chai wala or chayos. They are making tea, okay, black tea with sugar and milk, and with adrak and so many components. So if we say that chayos is purchasing, or the demand quantity demanded of chayos for black tea is 100 kg of black tea per week. So it's over the week, no? Over the week. In one day, it may be 20 grams. In other day, it may be 80 grams, and respectively 100 kgs together during a week. So it's a flow concept. Okay, so do remember, we are sharing these concepts based on objective questions you may have in your exams. So please do understand. So what are the two parameters of quantity demanded? Quantity demanded is always with respect to the price of the good. And as the price changes, the demand for the good may change. This is the quantity demanded will change. As I've shared, 775, if it goes to 900, then you may not buy 100 grams, you may buy 60 grams. If it goes to 500, you may buy 200 grams. So at different price, different quantity of green tea will be demanded, number one. Number two, it is a flow concept. Reason being, we say that quantity demand is over the period, in a day, in a week, in a month, in an hour, or so and so. Okay, so it's a flow concept. Then what helps to decide about that the price of the good is the core factor which decides about the demand for the good? So first and the foremost, when we say that the price of black tea, okay, so price of black tea per gram is 100 rupees, 200 rupees, 300 rupees, and 400 rupees. So the price of black tea is increasing over the period of time. Let's say in a year. Okay, so in a year, the price of black tea has increased. So if the price of black tea increases, then in that case, what will happen to the quantity demanded? Quantity demanded, you can see, it is decreasing from 3 to 2 to 1 to 0. So if the price of the black tea is 100 rupees, how much quantity of black tea you'll buy? 100 grams, 300 grams, because 3 into 100, no? If the price of black tea increases to 200 rupees, you will buy how much quantity demanded you will be creating? 200 grams. If it goes to 300 rupees, then you will buy only 100 grams. And if it goes to 400, then you cannot buy. You cannot buy because you can't afford. And we have shared, what is the demand? Demand should be having not only desire, willingness, but ability to pay also. So since you can't afford to go for 400 rupees, you will not buy. So your demand becomes, quantity demanded becomes 0 in that case. What is the other feature which you see here? As the price of black tea is increasing, the quantity demanded is decreasing. Okay. Now, one thing you should realize, or I hope आप सब समझते हैं, that if the price of the good is the only factor which makes impact here, so if I say that the income of consumer increases, then if income of a consumer increases, then which is the variable we have taken here? Second factor, isn't it? So we have shared prices, willingness, and ability to pay. But income makes your ability to pay more, isn't it? So if you look at the next graph, you can see here, next table, you can see income. Now what's happening? Income is increasing. If your income increases over the period of time, then price of black tea is same, 100 rupees all throughout. Can you see? that the price of black tea is 100 rupees all throughout, but income of yours has increased from 1,000 rupees to 10,000 rupees to 20,000 rupees to 30,000 rupees to 40,000 rupees, what will happen? You can afford to buy more. So that means your quantity demand is increasing because of increase in income, but not because of increase in the price of the good. So it may be possible that your demand, quantity demanded may increase because of income, not because of the price of the good, because you like to have tea. You like to have tea. So since your income is increasing, you will be buying more quantity of tea. For example, I say that you like to have pizza, isn't it? So if you like to have pizza and your pocket money goes up. So if your pocket money goes up and the price of pizza remains same, so what will you do in that case if the price of pizza remains same? If your pocket money goes up, rather than buying once in a week, then you will have 2 pizzas in a week, isn't it? You'll have 2 pizzas in a week because you can afford to have 2 pizzas because your income has increased. So if the price remains same, if your income increases, then also you can buy more quantity of the good. Now, other factor which decides about the demand for the good is price of related goods. So for example, pizza only, you can connect more with pizza rather than black tea and other. So for example, I say pizza, okay? So for pizza, if I say that the pizza toppings has what? Capsicum, onion, mushroom, okay? So let's say if the price of mushroom goes up, price of mushroom increases and the price of cheese increases. So price of cheese is increasing, price of mushroom is increasing. What will happen to your demand for that pizza? It will affect, no? It will affect the price. Your pizza will become more expensive. If pizza becomes more expensive, then your quantity demanded will decrease. So what is the complementary factor related to the good? Complementary factor for pizza is cheese, tomatoes, onion, capsicum. जो भी उसकी toppings होंगी. That is all related to complementary good. So if the price of cheese will increase, what will happen to the demand of pizza? Demand for pizza will decrease. So what is the relationship between complementary good and the demand? If the price of complementary good increases, the demand for the good will decrease. Yes? Is it clear? आप कनेक्ट कर पा रहे हैं ना कि अगर पिज्जा का प्राइस सेम रहता है or the price of pizza will increase. Reason being, what will happen in that case? Because cheese का price बढ़ गया, tomatoes का price बढ़ गया, so overall price is increasing, and that is a complementary factor which makes pizza. So in that case, the demand for the good will, quantity demanded for the good will decrease. Okay. Now the next is substitute. What happens in the case of substitute good? Substitute good. What happens in the case of substitute good? Substitute is what? Domino's pizza versus Pizza Hut pizza. Okay, so substitute are Domino's pizza and Pizza Hut pizza. So Domino's pizza and Pizza Hut pizza, what is the difference between the two? These are substitute. Suppose Domino's pizza becomes you are having Domino's pizza, and let's say that Domino's pizza price remains same, and Pizza Hut pizza of the same toppings, uska price kam ho jayega. Then what will happen? What will happen in that case? What will happen? बताइए. So suppose I say that Domino's का price same है, same topics में, same toppings, okay, same toppings, and Domino's pizza price is same, but Pizza Hut price decreases. Then आप क्या करेंगे? You will switch over to Pizza Hut. Yes, despite no change in the price of Domino's pizza. So these are two substitute. So what happens in the case of substitute good? In the case of substitute good, if the price of the substitute good increases, अगर Pizza Hut का pizza का price बढ़ जाता, then you would have purchased Domino's का pizza had become a little bit cheaper. So then in that case, you'll buy more of Domino's pizza. Yes. So what is the relationship between substitute good price and quantity demanded? If the price of substitute good increases, the demand for the other good will increase. Positive relationship है दोनों. Complementary good में inverse relationship. Yes. अगर cheese का price बढ़ गया, then Domino's pizza you will be buying less because cheese becomes expensive, and that is a main component of Domino's pizza or any pizza, isn't it? So complementary good may If the price of complementary good increases, the demand for the good quantity demanded will decrease. In the case of substitute good, relationship will be positive. Got it? So yaad rakhiye, this is very, very important for objective type questions. I hope it is clear. Complementary goods and substitute goods, income of the consumer. But very, very important thing you have to remember is that जब हम बोल रहे हैं कि कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री गुड का प्राइस बढ़ रहा है या सब्स्टिट्यूट गुड का प्राइस बढ़ रहा है, बाकी सारे फैक्टर्स क्या है? बाकी सारे फैक्टर्स कांस्टेंट है. Then only you will be able to analyze, no? So if you will go for changing all the factors, आपका टेस्ट भी चेंज हो रहा है, your income is also changing, and the price of toppings, cheese toppings is also changing, then it will be very difficult to find out कि कौन सा फैक्टर है जिसकी वजह से डिमांड कम हो रही है या बढ़ रही है. Isn't it? So what we do, we keep, when we are analyzing one factor, we keep all other factors as constant. Okay? So जब हम price और quantity demanded की बात कर रहे हैं, then what all we will keep constant? We'll keep income of the person as constant. We'll keep taste and preference as constant. We'll keep price of complementary good and substitute as constant. जब हम complementary good की price की बात कर रहे हैं, change in the price of complementary good, तब हम what will keep constant? We'll keep income of the person constant. We'll keep price of the substitute good as constant. We'll keep taste and preference as constant because हम केवल complementary good के respect में demand की बात करें. Otherwise आपके लिए बहुत difficult होगा analyze करना. And if you cannot analyze, then what will happen in that case? You will not be able to plan, no? कि कितना इन्वेंट्री होना चाहिए, कितना स्टॉक हमारे पास होना चाहिए, कितनी डिमांड होगी मार्केट में हमारे प्रोडक्ट की, हाउ शुड वी प्लान आवर प्रोडक्शन. यू विल नॉट बी एबल टू डू जस्टिस विद दैट. सो इट्स वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू टेक केयर ऑफ दिस. ओके, सो दिस इज हाउ determinants of demand are. Determinants of demand are all factors which make impact on quantity demanded of the good except the price. प्राइस और डिमांड का रिलेशनशिप हमने देखा है. क्वांटिटी डिमांडेड में सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट क्या है? फर्स्ट एंड फॉरमोस्ट प्राइस ऑफ इट. ओके, सो टेस्ट एंड प्रेफरेंस आल्सो मेक डिफरेंस. नाउ टुडे यू यंगस्टर्स, पहले लोग केवल चाय पीते थे, whether it was about young people or whatever it is. Now in this era, today's era, chai is something you, tea is something you believe is outdated people, isn't it? Old-fashioned people. Coffee is new now. So coffee, you want to buy coffee. So why people want to buy coffee? Because taste आपका change हो गया, आपका preference change हो गया. So maybe there is no change in the price of tea, but still people are buying more of coffee because उनका taste and preference has become more inclined towards coffee. So this is how. So some people, black tea का price, there is no change in black tea price, but people have opted for green tea. ग्रीन टी की डिमांड बढ़ती जा रही है. क्यों बढ़ती जा रही है? बिकॉज पीपल बिलीव दैट ग्रीन टी इज मोर हेल्दी, एंड इफ वी गो फॉर ग्रीन टी, सो वी कैन गो विदाउट हैविंग मिल्क, एंड दैट मीन्स इट विल नॉट एड मच कैलोरीज, हम मोटे नहीं होंगे, तो लेट्स गो फॉर ग्रीन टी. सो आपका टेस्ट एंड प्रेफरेंस चेंज हो गया है, इसीलिए आप ग्रीन टी ले रहे हैं, डिस्पाइट देयर इज नो चेंज इन द प्राइस ऑफ ब्लैक टी. ओके, सो टेस्ट एंड प्रेफरेंस ऑल्सो मेक्स डिफरेंस. लाइक यू सी टुडे, youngsters are not buying those cars. So Maruti पहले क्या बना रहा था? 800 cars. Then they switched over to Brezza and other cars. And now today they have to go for SUVs because सब लोग SUV चाहते हैं. Nobody wants to buy normal car. So since you want to buy SUV, तो इसीलिए उनको SUV बनानी पड़ रही है, उसी की डिमांड बढ़ रही है. So companies, they decide their production line. Companies, they decide about what to produce depending upon what consumers they want. इसीलिए डिमांड को एनालाइज करना आपके लिए बहुत बहुत important. Okay, so this is taste and preference. So this is the caselet given in your book, in your course material. You can see this caselet here. They are talking about Aroma Tea Limited. So Aroma Tea Limited का business है इनका, and they have a board meeting. Okay, so directors and CEOs of Aroma have board meeting, और वो बोल रहे हैं कि should we enter into green tea market? Because green tea जो है मार्केट की डिमांड है आज. It's a pulse which is driving the market today. So should we enter in green tea segment? तो इस मार्केट में कौन कौन लोग हैं जो ग्रीन टी पियेंगे, और ग्रीन टी की वजह से ब्लैक टी का डिमांड पे क्या इम्पैक्ट पड़ेगा? क्या ग्रीन टी लग्जरी गुड है या ये नॉर्मल गुड है लोगों के लिए? So some people can only afford to buy green tea. बाकी लोग खरीद ही नहीं सकते because green tea शायद ज्यादा expensive है as compared to black tea. So ये luxury good है क्या? क्या ऐसा हो सकता है कि जो कॉफी ड्रिंकर्स हैं वो भी ग्रीन टी में स्विच ओवर हो जाए? सो कॉफी एंड ग्रीन टी विल बी व्हाट? सब्स्टिट्यूट्स, नो? सो आप कॉफी से ग्रीन टी पे चले गए तो देन इट बिकम्स सब्स्टिट्यूट. बट if you see the flavor of the green tea, you put some component in green tea. You make ginger green tea. So ginger will be what? Ginger will be what? Ginger will be complementary because आपने वो green tea में add कर दिया. So complementary factors you have to take care about. Substitute factors you have to take care about. You have to take care about. Luxury means income you have to take care about. Income driving factor है या नहीं? Then you have to take care about pulse of the market. मतलब लोगों के लिए टेस्ट एंड प्रेफरेंस चेंज हो रहा है या नहीं चेंज हो रहा है. सो ऑल दीज फैक्टर्स डिटरमाइन द डिमांड फॉर ग्रीन टी इन द मार्केट. सो बिफोर वी डिसाइड व्हाट दिस अरोमा टी लिमिटेड इज सेइंग और इज वर्किंग ऑन स्ट्रेटेजाइजिंग, हम मार्केट में ग्रीन टी लाएं या ना, और इज इट अ राइट टाइम टू एंटर इन द मार्केट? आर वी रशिंग फास्ट फॉर दिस? हो सकता है कि अभी ग्रीन टी की डिमांड इतनी नहीं है मार्केट में. इफ वी कम इन द मार्केट वी मे नॉट गेट मार्केट शेयर. सो शैल वी wait for some time? So any decision when you have to take regarding your production, you always have to take care about कि मेरे consumers कौन है, उनकी demand क्या है, उनकी preferences क्या है, उनकी income क्या है, what are the other market players who are there in the market. All these factors you will analyze. Okay, so this is demand. So what are the factors governing demand for green tea in India? Green tea in India is बहुत सारे factors हैं, health benefits हैं, because research, everybody through research are saying that green tea is good for your health because it has antioxidants. It makes it gives you health benefits. It helps you to prevent from diseases. So it helps you to reduce your cholesterol level and blood pressure also, weight loss also. So जब आप ये सब पढ़ते हैं तो आपको लगता है कि it's better to go for green tea rather than having coffee or black tea or tea with sugar and milk. So this is changing the trend in the market, making people have demand for green tea is increasing. So you understand when we say demand for green tea is increasing, मतलब लोग खरीद रहे हैं, but इसमें हम price की बात नहीं कर रहे हैं. When we'll talk about quantity demanded of green tea, then we'll always take care about price or quantity demand, both the things together, and quantity demanded over the period of time. So this is how the difference is. So आप अच्छे से समझ लीजिए कि डिमांड क्या होती है, क्वांटिटी डिमांडेड क्या है, एक लेमैन के लिए डिमांड क्या है, isn't it? एक आपके लिए जो इकोनॉमिक्स पढ़ रहे हैं उनके लिए डिमांड क्या है. So you should be able to differentiate between these factors. Now sometimes it happens, we have shared, normally क्या होता है, when the price of the good increases, you will prefer to buy less, isn't it? But कभी कभी एक्सटर्नल फैक्टर्स भी होते हैं जो गवर्न करते हैं डिमांड फॉर द गुड. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, बहुत सारे यंगस्टर्स आज एप्पल आईफोन खरीदते हैं. क्यों खरीदते हैं? हो सकता है बाकी फोन से भी उनको उतनी यूटिलिटी मिले, बट माई फ्रेंड्स आर हैविंग एंड दे जज मी ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ दैट कि मेरे पास कौन सा फोन है. सो आई ऑल्सो हैव टू बाय दैट बिकॉज आई वांट टू बी इन गुड बुक्स. सो दिस इज डेमोन्स्ट्रेशन इफेक्ट. डेमोन्स्ट्रेशन इफेक्ट इज दैट कि आपको एक्सेप्टेंस चाहिए, आपको एक्सेप्टेंस चाहिए कि बाकी लोग जो ले रहे हैं मेरे पास भी हो, मैं आई एम पार्ट ऑफ दैट ग्रुप. चाहे आपको उसकी जरूरत हो या ना, बट यू आर फॉलोइंग द क्राउड or the community or the your peer group. So that is the demonstration effect or bandwagon effect. So it is a psychological impact which makes impact in terms of your decision making. It's just your belief and thinking which changes because आपकी सोसाइटी में, आपके कल्चर में, आपके आसपास के लोगों में वो आप देखते हैं and then you start following that. Okay, so this is demonstration effect or we can also say it is a bandwagon effect. This is external factor. हो सकता है आपको जरूरत नहीं है इतनी, but since other people are, your friends are buying, so why not me also should go for it. So आप follow करते हैं बाकी लोगों को. So today's generation they say simple graduation में क्या है, सब MBA कर रहे हैं तो हमको भी MBA करना है. So it is a bandwagon. So what will happen? The demand for MBA colleges and curriculum will increase, isn't it? Because others are, you want to follow what others are doing. Okay, so that's bandwagon or demonstration effect. This is more of external factor. Snob effect is just opposite of demonstration effect. Demonstration में हमने क्या देखा? We have seen that everybody is following or going for the product. Yes, I'm taking queries if it is there in your this class as for the query session. Okay, I'm not going through chat, so because it will be very difficult to go ahead with chat also simultaneously. Okay, so you can post your query. I'll take care of it. So snob effect. Snob effect is just opposite of demonstration effect. Demonstration effect में हमने क्या देखा? मेरे friends ले रहे हैं, मेरी society में सब ले रहे हैं, आसपास के लोग ले रहे हैं, मैं न्यूज़पेपर में देख रही हूँ, so I should also follow it because मैं इस crowd का part होनी चाहती हूँ, isn't it? So that is a demonstration or a bandwagon effect. We will be sharing Veblen effect और snob effect में क्या difference है, अभी हम share करें. Okay, Sayed. So snob effect, what is snob effect? Snob effect is just opposite. Suppose I belong to a high class family, okay? और इस high class family में मेरे दोस्त जो हैं वो भी high group के हैं. तो मैं क्या करूंगी? मैं देखूंगी कि इसके पास ये डायमंड है जो कि बहुत एक्सपेंसिव है और इस ब्रांड का डायमंड है. तो व्हाट विल आई डू? मैं बोलूंगी कि नहीं नहीं नहीं, मेरे को सेम नहीं लेना है, बिकॉज मेरे को तो अपने आप को डिफरेंशिएट करना है ना इनसे, कि नहीं, अगर आपके पास ये है तो मेरे पास आपसे अच्छा है और बेटर और डिफरेंट है. सो व्हाट विल आई डू? आई विल नॉट बाय दैट brand of diamond. I'll buy something else which is as expensive as that, but it is of some different. I want to make my own presence. I don't want to be part of the crowd. So some people they go for what? कुछ लोग अब जैसे we moved from diesel to petrol. बट जब पेट्रोल की गाड़ियां चल रही थी उसमें कुछ लोग ऐसे आ गए, उन्होंने कहा कि नहीं, हम पेट्रोल नहीं लेंगे, हम इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल्स लेंगे, बिकॉज हम वी आर कंसर्न अबाउट एनवायरमेंट. सो एवरीबडी वाज बाइंग पेट्रोल कार्स एंड दे वर बाइंग ग्रीन व्हीकल्स बिकॉज उनको लगा. So this is not part of the crowd. They are different. They are altogether different. They want to have, they have their own notion. वो अपनी belief से चलते हैं, वो बाकी लोगों को फॉलो नहीं करते. आप ले रहे हैं इसलिए हम भी ले रहे हैं. So snob effect is something different. Okay, so it may be possible that in this case you want to have a prestige product and this may lead to decrease. दूसरों के पास है तो हो सकता है आपकी डिमांड उस प्रोडक्ट के लिए डिक्रीज हो जाए, क्योंकि वो दूसरों के पास है, वो कॉमन प्रोडक्ट है. सो मैं उसको नहीं लूंगी या लूंगा क्योंकि ये कॉमन प्रोडक्ट है, तो उसकी डिमांड कम हो जाएगी. सो डेमोन्स्ट्रेशन इफेक्ट में आपने क्या देखा कि डिमांड विल इंक्रीज, दूसरों के पास है इसलिए आपकी डिमांड बढ़ गई. बट स्नॉब इफेक्ट में व्हाट यू हैव सीन, बिकॉज वो दूसरों के पास है, आपकी डिमांड उस प्रोडक्ट के लिए कम हो जाएगी. सो इट जस्ट रिवर्स ऑफ इट. ओके, सो डेमोन्स्ट्रेशन एंड स्नॉब इफेक्ट इज जस्ट ऑपोजिट ऑफ इट. Veblen effect. Veblen effect is also external factor which makes impact here. So what is Veblen effect? Veblen effect is, number one, it was given by James Dusenberry, who gave the concept of demonstration effect. और Veblen effect दिया है Thorsten Veblen, जो American economist है. And what is the concept of Veblen effect? आपने क्या देखा snob effect में? Snob effect is not about कि प्राइस से रिलेटेड है, इट्स रिलेटेड टू कि बाकियों के पास ये है तो मेरे पास कुछ डिफरेंट होना चाहिए. सो इट इज नॉट रिलेटेड टू प्राइस, एग्जैक्टली रिलेटेड टू प्राइस, बट इट इज मोर रिलेटेड टू मेरा थॉट प्रोसेस, इजंट इट? बट वेबलन इफेक्ट क्या है? वेबलन इफेक्ट इज दैट ये एक स्टेटस सिंबल प्रोडक्ट्स होते हैं, हाईली प्राइस. जैसे people want to buy those cars which are like BMW लेनी है मुझे, isn't it? Because ये एक status symbol है तो मुझे लेना है. So that means you are buying that product because you believe कि ये एक मेरी identity बनाएगा market. That is about Veblen effect. So when you buy premium products to make your presence different from others because of the high price goods. So कुछ लोग ऐसे होते हैं कि antique products ले आते हैं घर में. So antique products they buy, they know it is very expensive. But when somebody will come at home, you'll say, see, I have these antique products और मैंने इसको इतना महंगा लिया. So that's about price. It is more related to function of price, where you want to make your space by saying कि मैं ये प्रोडक्ट अफोर्ड कर सकता हूँ और कर सकती हूँ इस प्राइस पे, और दैट इज वेबलिन इफेक्ट. हो सकता है कि आपको उसकी सेट्रस पेरिबस मींस कि बाकी फैक्टर्स कांस्टेंट. ओके, सो बाकी फैक्टर्स कांस्टेंट है, इसीलिए फर्स्ट चैप्टर की क्वेरी बेटा हम बाद में ले लेंगे, क्योंकि अभी डाइवर्ट हो जाएगा. इसलिए अभी वी आर टॉकिंग मोर विद रिस्पेक्ट टू द करंट टॉपिक व्हिच वी आर डिस्कसिंग. ओके, सो आप डिफरेंशिएट करते हैं. एक्सटर्नल फैक्टर्स कौन कौन से हो गए? एक हो गया डेमोन्स्ट्रेशन और बैंडवैगन इफेक्ट, दूसरा हो गया आपका स्नॉब इफेक्ट, तीसरा हो गया वेबलिन इफेक्ट. तीनों के पैरामीटर्स अलग अलग. डेमोन्स्ट्रेशन इफेक्ट में क्या है? व्हाट अदर्स आर डूइंग आई वांट टू डू इट, बिकॉज बाकी लोग भी ले रहे हैं तो मैं भी लूं. दैट मीन्स आई एम फॉलोइंग द set of people. So it's not my core decision. It's dependent on majority of the people what they are doing. Okay, so bandwagon effect or demonstration effect. दूसरा हो गया snob effect. Snob effect में you want to differentiate yourself from others. So बाकियों के पास है, इसलिए आप उस गुड की डिमांड नहीं करेंगे, आप दूसरे गुड की डिमांड करेंगे या सर्विस की डिमांड करेंगे. That means the demand for that very good which majority of people are buying, उसकी डिमांड कम हो जाएगी in the case of snob effect. But demonstration effect में उसकी डिमांड बढ़ जाएगी जो ज्यादा लोगों के पास है. वेबलिन इफेक्ट इज नॉट रिलेटेड टू कि दूसरों के पास क्या है, बट वेबलिन इफेक्ट में मेरा एक स्टेटस सिंबल है. आई वांट टू क्रिएट माय ओन स्टेटस, एंड उसके लिए मैं हाई प्राइस गुड खरीदूंगी या खरीदूंगा, बिकॉज दैट इज व्हाट आई वांट टू मेक माय स्पेस बाय टेलिंग पीपल कि मैं एक्सपेंसिव प्रोडक्ट खरीद सकती हूँ या खरीद सकता हूँ, और इसीलिए मेरा वो स्टेटस. ओके, दैट्स वेबलिन इफेक्ट. So these three are different concepts. So you may have questions related to this. So don't get confused, okay? आपको कैसे भी घुमा फिरा के अगर कोई ऑब्जेक्टिव आता है, तो अगर आपकी कॉन्सेप्ट क्लैरिटी है, then you will be able to write make the correct choice. Otherwise आप कंफ्यूज हो जाएंगे, बिकॉज जो मल्टीपल होते हैं वो बहुत क्लोज होते हैं. एंड अगर आपको कॉन्सेप्ट क्लैरिटी नहीं है, तो then you will be making wrong decision in that case. So concept clarity is very very important. Okay, so external factors हमने देख लिए 3 है. उसके अलावा भी बहुत सारे फैक्टर्स हैं. और other factors are, yes Chaitanya, other things remaining constant is also limitation in economics. Rather economics limitation तो है, इसके अलावा आप precision पे जा रहे हैं, isn't it? अगर आप सब फैक्टर्स को ले लेंगे तो then we use mathematical tools, वो आप आगे बढ़ेंगे. सो ऐसा नहीं है कि बाकी फैक्टर्स को आप नहीं ले सकते, आप बाकी फैक्टर्स को भी ले सकते हैं, बट अभी हम एक सिंपल टर्म्स में डिस्कशन कर रहे हैं. इसीलिए हम क्या कर रहे हैं, जब हम प्राइस और क्वांटिटी डिमांडेड की बात कर रहे हैं, हम सारे फैक्टर्स को कांस्टेंट कर, वी आर कीपिंग ऑल अदर फैक्टर्स एज कांस्टेंट. व्हेन वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री गुड, तो हम बाकी फैक्टर्स को कांस्टेंट, ताकि आप समझ सके कि इस कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री गुड का प्राइस और जो आपका गुड है उसका रिलेशनशिप क्या है. इसीलिए अदरवाइज इट्स नॉट लाइक दैट कि आप एनालाइज नहीं कर सकते ऑल द फैक्टर्स के साथ. यू कैन डू इट, मैथमेटिकल टूल्स होते हैं, वो आप आगे पढ़ेंगे. सो कंज्यूमर्स एक्सपेक्टेशंस आल्सो मेक डिफरेंस. ना कंज्यूमर एक्सपेक्टेशन में क्या होगा, सपोज कोविड था, कोविड में क्या हुआ, पीपल थॉट कि ये पर्टिकुलर गुड लॉकडाउन हो जाएगा और इस प्रोडक्ट की शॉर्टेज हो जाएगी, इसीलिए आज ही खरीद के रख लेते. सो व्हाट हैपन, in anticipation of increase in price today or tomorrow, what do? You start buying more. और जब आप उसको खरीदने लग जाते हैं तो बाकी लोग भी ऐसा करते हैं, उसकी वजह से क्या होता है, उसका प्राइस और बढ़ता जाता है, और आपको लगता है फर्दर अप जाएगा, तो आप also you also become part of that race where you also start buying. Are you getting it? So जब आप एक्सपेक्ट करते हैं, रियल एस्टेट में क्या हो रहा है, कंज्यूमर एक्सपेक्टेशन, रियल एस्टेट में क्या हो रहा है, आपको पता है दिल्ली में लैंड कम है और इन अ पर्टिकुलर सिटी लैंड इज लिमिटेड, पॉपुलेशन बढ़ती जा रही है. सो यू एंटिसिपेट कि कल घर नहीं मिलेगा, घर मिलेगा तो रेंटल्स भी बहुत बढ़ जाएंगे, तो क्यों ना हम अपना घर ले लें. एंड एवरीबडी, एंड क्रेडिट भी मिल रहा है बैंक से, हाउसिंग लोन भी मिल रहा है, तो चलिए घर ले लेते. सो एवरीबडी विल थिंक कि आज घर ले लेते हैं बिकॉज कल तो वो बहुत एक्सपेंसिव हो जाएगा. सो पीपल विल स्टार्ट बाइंग, और जब सब घर लेने लग जाएंगे तो क्या होगा, उस स्पेस पे कंस्ट्रक्शन तो नहीं होगी, तो जो रियल एस्टेट डेवलपर्स हैं वो अपनी प्राइस बढ़ा देंगे. अब प्राइस बढ़ गई तो आपको लगेगा कि कल प्राइस और बढ़ जाएगी, लेट मी बाय मोर टुडे, सो यू विल स्टार्ट बाइंग मोर. सो इस तरह से प्राइसेस टूट अप होती जाती है. because you are the one who is a contributory factor, because you believe that tomorrow the things will become very expensive. आज ही हम खरीद लेते हैं. So आपने देखा टोमेटो के केसेस में भी ऐसा हुआ था. Okay, so you saw in the case of tomatoes also. What happened in the case of tomatoes and real estate sector? Tomatoes also, when there was shortage of tomatoes, people started buying more tomatoes and the prices went up. Why prices went up? Because people realized that tomorrow tomatoes will be in shortage, and North Indian families, at least, they want to have tomatoes in their curry, those food, what they make recipe at home, isn't it? So they need to have tomatoes. So that is why the demand for tomatoes will increase and prices will increase. Let me buy more today. So women at home, lady at home started purchasing more of tomatoes in anticipation of tomorrow the price will increase. So price expectations also leads to more demand, and this demand leads to increase further in the price, and this goes on and on. So that is another factor which, और इसीलिए आप देखिए you see real estate prices are increasing. Okay, so you can understand why real estate prices are increasing in the market. Okay, so the next concept is other factors apart from this, what decides about this population. If your country's population is increasing, so we see in India, your country's population is increasing. What will happen? Population is more, means people will be requiring more toothpaste, isn't it? So you need more toothpaste. So companies which are making toothpaste, they will be more optimistic about that toothpaste demand will increase and they'll produce more toothpaste. At the same time, schools and colleges will feel that since population is increasing, so that means the demand for schools and colleges will increase. So number of people, those who want to start their universities and colleges, they will increase in number. But country or a place, or even in state also, you see in state where, so in hill areas, there's less number of people who are staying in hill areas, isn't it? So in hill areas, since less number of people are staying, that is why you will find less companies are present over there. Why so? Because they believe that the overall demand in that area will be less. So why should we spend money by going for investing in that area where the population is less in number? So population also decides about the demand for the good, how the demand is going to change, and as the demand is going to change, the company strategy will also change. Age distribution. So if country's population is increasing, that means number of youngsters will be more. More youngsters means companies which are making toys, they will be making more toys because they know that youngster population is increasing. So kids will be more and kids will be more. That means there will be more demand. So they will be making more toys. They will be making kindergarten products and other products because youngsters are more in number. But country like China, like Japan, where there are more oldies, what will happen over there? So old age people. So insurance companies will be more optimistic about, because old people, they require health insurance, they require life insurance. So that demand will be increasing. Then hospitals will be more optimistic about, because old people, they need more care no? So that means the demand for hospitals will also increase, healthcare services will increase. So this is how. So other factors also decide about what goods to be produced, what services to be produced. These are external factors which help companies to decide about which goods to be produced and how much to be produced. Okay, so see, regarding questions and others, you can ask Board of Studies, but I'm sharing more about the concept clarity. Okay, then the next is about national income and distribution. Are more rich people in the country, or in a country there are poor people? We have studied last class capitalist economy, socialist economy, and mixed economy. So if in a country rich people are more, or there is a huge disparity, rich are more and rich are less and poor are more, and those who are rich, they have 80% of the income of the country, and those who are poor, they are only having 20% income of the country. So what will happen in that case? Then the government has to take care about poor people because they can't afford to buy those products which private companies will be producing at high price. So what goods to be produced and the demand for which goods will be more? If the country is rich, luxurious good demand will increase, isn't it? So if a country is rich, what do you demand? You demand more of technology-driven products, isn't it? So you become more educated because you are rich. You get best of the education, and you can go for better quality processed food and other products, ready-made goods and others. So if you are rich, you can buy big cars. Yes, you can travel and stay in 5-star hotels and respectively. So the demand will be based on, in your country, more rich people are there or more poor people are there. If more poor people are there, then in that case, the government has to take care about basic education, health services, and others. So private players will be looking for less of premium quality products to be produced because poor people cannot afford that, isn't it? Then the consumer credit facility. What about consumer credit facility? If you get easy loan. So you have seen, we have shared real estate sector booming up. Real estate sector, why real estate sector is booming up? Because in the real estate, you get housing loan easily. Since you get housing loan easily, so what will happen? You can take loan and you can buy a house. We have shared what are the factors of demand? Ability to pay. So you have a desire to buy a house. You are willing to go for some contribution of your income for buying a house. At the same time, you can get loan. So that means you have ability to buy a house. So all these factors will lead to what? You will be able to buy a house, and this will help you. So your current income and your future income, which will help in creating your assets. Or if a country is poor, then what will happen? You will take more loans. So people will be taking more loans from the bank. So loan demand will increase, isn't it? Loan demand increases, but banks will not be able to give loan because they'll say, how will you repay the loan? So that's also very important. Okay, so this is how it works. Then government policies. How government policies make difference in terms of demand, external factor demand. If government goes for solar panel government has done what? You buy solar panel, will give you subsidies. Subsidies helps you to what? It decreases the price. So because of subsidies, price of solar panel is decreasing and government is, so what will happen? The demand for solar panels will increase. E-vehicles, those who are producing e-vehicles, government will say, you produce e-vehicles, will give you subsidies for production. So the taxes will be reduced on production of e-vehicles. What will happen? You will be buying e-vehicles because the price of e-vehicles will reduce because government is subsidizing that and giving you tax benefits. So taxes, if the tax rate goes up, what happens because of the tax rate? Cigarettes, government is imposing high taxes. So what is happening because of high taxes on cigarettes? People are discouraged to go for cigarettes. Similarly, if you know about GST, in GST, if you buy premium products, the tax rate is higher. So which products demand will be more? The products which are lower in the tax slab, isn't it? So since they are lower in the tax slab, their demand will be more. The products which are higher in the tax slab, their demand will be less. And who will be able to afford that? If a country has more rich people, wohi khareed sakte hain. Poor people cannot afford to buy those products, isn't it? So this is very important. International trade policies. International trade policies. Do we allow companies from foreign to bring the technology? Like we have Airbus, we have Boeing. So Jet Airways and other have Airbus and Boeing. From where do they get it? They get it from the international market. So if you have a good trade policy, that also can help. Sometimes it happens that in your country, you cannot produce that good. So just say chips tha, semiconductors the. So what we were doing for semiconductors, we were importing. So because the trade policy, it helped us to have more semiconductors in India because of the trade. Otherwise, the demand would have been there, and because of the restricted trade policy, the prices would have gone up, and we would have been suffering in the country. So government policies also help or discourage demand in the market. Now, what is demand function? When we talk about demand function, what are the components of demand function? We have shared that demand for Domino's pizza is dependent on price of Domino's pizza. Yes. What is the price of Domino's pizza with the specific toppings you're looking for? You want capsicum onion pizza, you want paneer, tomato, capsicum, pizza, whatever it is about. So the price of the Domino's pizza will decide about the quantity But when we talk about price of the pizza, then you fix all other factors as constant. What is Y? Y is income of yours. So income will be constant. So your income won't increase. That's what we'll assume. Okay. Then price of related goods. What about the price of related goods? We have shared substitute and complementary. That means the price of tomatoes, price of cheese will not increase. Price of Pizza Hut pizza will not increase or will not change. So substitute and complementary good. Your taste will not change. Your preference will not change. Then when we say that demand is only dependent, quantity demand is dependent on price of the good. And respectively for all other factors, you can take care about. So demand function is a function which establishes a relationship between quantity demanded, age, subsidies. Okay, age distribution. Kaushal is asking about age distribution is in a country, if you have more youngsters, age distribution, young people, more young people in a country. If you have more young people in the country, what will happen if you have more young people? Suppose you're a company and you know that in your country, in India, people are more young. So what will you do? You will produce goods, what youngsters they like, isn't it? So youngsters like products like mobiles, youngsters like roaming around with friends, so bikes, and youngsters like to chill with their friends. So hospitality industry. So the demand of these sectors will increase because they know youngsters. So flight, you want to go with your friends on tour from one place to other by flight. So the demand for flights will increase. Okay, so this is how. So if you have more oldies, then old people, what old people they need? If you have majority of old people in your country, what they need? They need, because they become old, no? So if they become old, they have health issues. They have health issues means they want to ensure their health, safety. So what will they do? They'll opt for insurance. Which insurance? Health insurance. So they'll opt for health insurance. What health insurance companies will do? They'll increase the premium. Premium is what? The price you have to pay, isn't it? For example, if you're old, if more old people are there, then maybe possible that you have to go to hospitals. So hospitals demand will increase in the country because old people. So when people become old, they face problem in terms of walking. So they need stick to walk. So the demand for that will increase. Some people may need wheelchair, so that will increase. Some people may suffer from diabetes. So diabetic medicines, the demand will increase. This is how. Okay. So this is how the demand changes with age of the population, how age group, age distribution is in the country. And subsidies. Subsidies is what this question has been asked by Aisha. So subsidy basically means what? Suppose I say that solar panel. Okay. Solar panel, I'm producing solar panel. My cost of producing solar panel is 50,000 rupees. One solar panel I can produce as 50,000 rupees. So government will say, okay, Dr. Neelam, if you are producing solar panel, we'll give you 10% subsidy for this. So 10% will be given by government of 50,000 and rest the cost will be borne by me. So what will happen? My cost will reduce by 10% because who is giving me that 10%? Government is giving. So my cost will reduce by 10%. And since my cost reduces by 10%, that means I will be able to produce at a lower price. If I'm able to produce solar panel at a lower price and you want to buy solar panel, so you will be buying at a low price. So what will happen? Since government has subsidized the production of solar panel, that is why my cost has reduced, and I'm able to produce at a low price. And since I'm able to produce at low price, you will buy more and many, many consumers will be buying solar panel because I will be selling at a low price. Okay. So this is important. Who regulates demand function? See, it's Chaitanya, demand function cannot be regulated by one person. It is about the market in which the demand is created. So you have any number. So mobile phone demand, 4G demand, 5G demand. Who has created 5G demand and 4G demand? 4G and 5G demand? You people have created, no? All of you want to have, do you want to have 2G? You don't want to have 2G. You don't want to have 3G. You don't want to, rather you want to have 4G, you want to have 5G. So that is why those who are producing, those who can give you 5G, their demand will increase. Okay, so this is how it works. So demand function is clear. So now coming to law of demand. Law of demand is what we have shared demand function. In demand, what are the factors we have taken? Price of the good, that is price of Domino's pizza, price of cheese, price of tomatoes, that is complementary, then price of Pizza Hut, that is substitute. Then we have taken, then what we have taken? Then we have taken your taste and preference, that is about taste and preference, and then external factors, because my friends also like to have pizza, I'll also have pizza, that is bandwagon effect. My friends are having pizza, but I have done my research and I've come to the conclusion that pizza is bad for health. I'll not have this. So your demand, that is snob effect. Okay. And Veblen effect is that I'll go to 5-star hotel and then I'll have pizza because that is my status. Veblen effect. Okay. Apart from that, if government says pizza is adversely impacting health of the people, so we are imposing tax on pizza. So if the tax rate goes up, the demand for pizza will be affected. So this is how, if government says you produce wheat-based pizza, will subsidize. So what will happen in that case? The price of wheat pizzas will decrease and demand for pizzas will increase. So all these factors are there. So what we have shared all the factors, but as the demand function, in the demand function, but when we talk about law of demand as given by Professor Alfred Marshall, a famous economist, he said that the greater the amount to be sold, if you want to sell more as a producer, you have to keep price less and less. You have seen for Jio, what happened for Jio? Jio sold its services at a zero price or at a very low price. That is why people could afford to buy, isn't it? So lower the price, more the demand. Higher the price, less the demand. Okay, so this is what is the law of demand. And what law of demand says? Law of demand says that quantity demanded of a good has an inverse relationship to the price of the good, keeping all other factors as constant. What are the other factors? Price of the related good, income of the consumer, taste and preference. All factors are kept constant. Then in that case, the price and quantity demanded will have inverse relationship. Okay. So do keep it in mind. Law of demand, if you define by saying that quantity demanded and price has inverse relationship, it is wrong. It is wrong. Why is it wrong? Because you're simply saying quantity demanded and price has inverse relationship. You also have to say that quantity demanded of a good has inverse relationship to the price, keeping all other factors as constant. What are the other factors? Price of the substitute, price of the complementary, income of the consumer, taste and preference, all other external factors are kept constant. Then the law of demand will hold true. Otherwise, law of demand will not be true. Yes, these PPTs will be uploaded in your POS portal. Don't worry, okay? Now the demand schedule. What is demand schedule? So law of demand is clear. Demand schedule. What is demand schedule? Demand schedule is you present it in a tabular form where you take care about the price and the quantity demanded at respective level. So in this case, you can see this is in your course module also. So you can see here the demand schedule of ice cream. Let's say Mother Dairy ice cream. Okay, Mother Dairy chocolate ice cream. Okay, so you are buying Mother Dairy chocolate ice cream. So this Mother Dairy ice cream outlet is, let's say, in Karol Bagh in Delhi. Okay, so this outlet is in Karol Bagh in Delhi, and this Mother Dairy outlet owner who's running this Mother Dairy wants to analyze that in this week of September, how much demand has been created for, has the demand been there, quantity demand is there for chocolate ice cream of 500 grams. Okay, so, or for cups, let's say for cups, because it's given over here, cups. Okay, so they want to analyze, this person wants to analyze. How will they analyze? They'll see that I had first week of second week of September, I had 50 cups of chocolate ice cream, and the ice cream of 50 cups of chocolate in different quantity. Okay, in different quantity, and the demand, how many people have purchased those ice cream cups. So I'll analyze that. So what will I do? I'll analyze that, and I have compiled this table. This table has what? This table has chocolate ice creams of Mother Dairy, and at respective price per cup. What is the price of each cup, and how the quantity demanded of ice cream has changed. So you can see here, this demand schedule has different price level of Mother Dairy ice cream, chocolate ice cream cup, and which is depicting about that respective price, how the quantity demanded has changed within a week. So if the price of chocolate ice cream is ₹60 for 1 cup, so ice cream vendor will find that nobody has purchased that ice cream. That means people have no willingness, they can't afford to buy, and they do not have desire to buy ice cream, chocolate ice cream of Mother Dairy at 60 rupees. So what Mother Dairy will do? Mother Dairy will not quote price at 60 rupees, because if they'll quote price 60 rupees, they will have no consumers who will buy ice cream cup at 60 rupees. So they can't sell at 60 rupees. So if they quote price as 50 rupees per cup, then 2 consumers will be buying chocolate ice cream. So how many consumers have purchased ice cream, chocolate ice cream? 2 consumers have purchased. But if Mother Dairy will decrease the price to 40 rupees per cup, then 4 consumers will buy. Okay. If it will decrease to 30 rupees, then 6 consumers will buy. If they'll reduce to 20 rupees, 8 consumers will buy. If they will reduce to 10 rupees, 10 consumers will buy. And if they'll offer free, then all the consumers will buy. But I can't give you a break for 5 minutes, because time is very limited and we have to complete this. Okay. I can't give you a break. Okay. So this quantity demand is clear. So what is the demand schedule? Demand schedule, you can see, is a table which depicts about different quantities of ice cream, in this case, which a consumer can buy at different price level. So these are the different price level at which consumers can buy. Okay, so this is demand schedule. So it is a tabular presentation which depicts about different quantities of good that a buyer would choose to purchase at different price per unit of time. But all other factors as constant. What other factors will be constant? Milk, which is this chocolate, which is a complementary factor in chocolate ice cream. Milk, which is a complementary factor in chocolate ice cream. Then substitute will be what? Substitute chocolate versus vanilla ice cream. Okay. Price of all these factors are kept constant. Your taste and preference is not changing. Then this demand schedule will be applicable. Okay. So this is the demand curve. So if you see the demand curve, what is demand curve? What is the difference between demand schedule and demand curve? Demand schedule is a table, is a tabular form which depicts different quantities of the good a consumer can buy at different price level. Okay. Demand curve is a graphical presentation which depicts the relationship between the demand of the good and the price of the good. What kind of relationship it has? Is it positively related? Is it negatively related? So this is the demand curve. What do you see as a demand curve here? What do you see in the demand curve here? So you see demand curve. Sorry. So demand curve, if the price is 10 rupees, what we had shared in demand schedule, that we have presented in graphical form. So this becomes the demand curve. What we take on x-axis, we take the dependent factor. What is the dependent factor? Quantity demanded of chocolate ice cream is the dependent factor. This demand of chocolate ice cream depends on what? Price of chocolate ice cream. So price is the independent factor and quantity demanded of chocolate ice cream is the dependent factor. So dependent factor we take on x-axis and independent factor we take on y-axis. and then we plot it on a graph. You can see different coordinates here. If the price is 10 rupees, F point, if you see F point, then how much ice cream cups will be sold? 10. That means the demand created will be 10 units of chocolate ice cream. If Mother Dairy will increase the price of chocolate ice cream from 10 to 20, then the demand of chocolate ice cream of Mother Dairy will reduce from 10 to 8. You will move from point F to point E. If the price increases from 20 to 30, that means the demand will decrease from 8 to 6. That means you will move from point E to D and respectively. So the demand curve, what is the slope of the demand curve? The slope of the demand curve is change in the quantity with respect to change in the price. And you see that the change in the quantity demanded is inversely related to the price, keeping all the factors as constant. So it is a negatively sloped. Okay, so it is a negatively sloped demand curve. Means price increases, quantity demanded decreases. And you see the rate of change. With every 10 rupees increase in the price, respectively, 2 units of ice cream is demand is decreasing. So the ratio is same all throughout, isn't it? So that is why this is a straight line. This is a straight, constant rate it is changing. And that's why you are getting this. Otherwise, you would have got curved shape curve. Okay. So market, now someone was asking me that who creates the demand schedule? Here you see the demand schedule depends upon how many consumers are there in the market buying that product. Okay, so if more people are buying, then in that case, you will be producing more of that good. If less people are buying, then you will produce less of that good, because what is important for you as a company is that your good should be in demand, isn't it? So your good or service should be in demand. So the market demand for a commodity is about how many consumers are buying that good, total number of consumers they are buying that good. So if you see in this, it's the price, let's say this is the price of Mother Dairy ice cream, and the price is for 1 cup, okay, and chocolate vanilla ice cream. So the price is 0, then the demand of ice cream by consumer A will be 3 units, and by consumer B will be 2 cups, okay. So A will be buying 3 cups of ice cream and B will be buying 2 cups of ice cream if the price is 0. So the total demand of ice cream, this Mother Dairy vanilla ice cream will be how much? 5 units. But if price increases from 0 to 10, then in that case, if the price increases from 0 to 10, then A will be buying 2 cups. His or her demand will decrease from 3 to 2, and B will be buying from 2 to 1. What will be the total demand? 2 plus 1, that is 3. So as price has increased of Mother Dairy vanilla ice cream, the total market demand has decreased from 5 to 3 with 10 rupees increase in the price of the ice cream. Because for a consumer A, the demand decreases from 3 to 2, that is by 1 unit. And for B, it reduces from 2 to 1, that is again by 1 unit. But if the price increases from 10 to 20, then of Mother Dairy ice cream, A will buy only 1 and B will not be able to buy. So B's demand will become 0. So the total demand in that case will be 1, because A's demand is 1, B's demand is 0. So that comes to 1. So market demand decides that what is the total demand of that good over a period of time at a given price. If the price will change, how the demand will change. Market demand will change. This helps companies to decide about that what should be the price we should quote for the good, so that the demand for the good should increase and it should not decrease over. So if you look at this table, you can see here demand schedule. If you look at this demand schedule, Mother Dairy cannot sell Mother Dairy ice cream at 0 rupees. So what Mother Dairy should do in that case? They should fix the price of vanilla ice cream at 10 rupees. Reason being, at 10 rupees, consumer A will buy 2 units of Mother Dairy ice cream and B will buy one unit of the good. And that is why the demand, total demand will be 3. But if Mother Dairy will increase vanilla ice cream price to 20 rupees, then only 1 consumer will buy. So it helps companies also to decide about what should be the price they should quote. And please do remember, when we are talking about the price and quantity demanded of this vanilla mother dairy ice cream, we are keeping all other factors as constant. Okay, all other factors are constant in this case. Okay. So this is the market demand curve. If you look at market demand curve for good, okay, so if you look at market demand curve here, what do you see market demand curve? This is consumer A. Okay, so consumer A at 10 rupees is buying how many units of mother dairy ice cream? 2 units, 2 cups of ice cream. Consumer B is buying how many? Consumer B is buying 1 mother dairy ice cream. So if you look at 10 rupees on y-axis, what do you see? That 3 units of ice cream will be purchased. Okay, 3 units of ice cream will be purchased. So 3 units of ice cream will be purchased means you will be here at the point. If I can share. This is 3, isn't it? So at this 3, you are maximum. So mother dairy can go for selling ice cream at ₹10 because consumer A will be buying how many units? 2 units of the good, and consumer B will be buying 1 unit of the good. That means the total will be 3. But if mother dairy goes for this, if mother dairy goes for quoting 10 rupees, 20 rupees, then if mother dairy goes for 20 rupees, then A will buy how many? 1 unit. What about B? B will buy 0. 20 rupees, how much B is buying? B is buying 0. So since B is buying 0, the total demand at 20 rupees will be only 1 mother dairy ice cream. Okay, so this is the market demand. This market demand on the extreme right is a sum of consumer demand for A and consumer demand of B, which is equal to market demand. And you will get this graph here. Is it clear? So this is the market demand curve. Mother dairy ice cream, or the sum of all. Now, if you look at demand function, what is demand function? Demand function is demand equation we have shared. Demand function we have shared, same as demand function. If you look at this equation here, this equation, this is the quantity demanded of Domino's pizza. Okay, this is price of Domino's pizza. This is price of Domino's. This is what B. This B is slope. Slope is change in quantity demanded. If I can make, I'll draw it. This is change in quantity demanded. Sorry for this. This is change in quantity demanded to change in price. Is the slope. So this is B is the slope. Okay, here you can see this slope. And A is what? A is a constant. What is constant? Constant means if price of mother dairy ice cream is 0, mother dairy ice cream is 0, then 12 units of mother dairy ice cream vanilla will be purchased by the consumer. So A, if price of Domino's pizza is 0, then if A value is 10, that means 10 consumers, or rather 50, then 50 consumers will buy Domino's pizza if it is offered free. So this A remains constant. Okay, and this B depicts about the rate of change. Okay, so this B depicts about the rate of change. Clear? So this is the slope. A is the vertical intercept. You need not worry about this. Simply understand the slope and the constant. Okay. Then what is the rationale of the law of demand? Why this demand, when we say quantity demand is increasing, price of the good is decreasing? Why do we say that? Why do we say that? We say that reason being that quantity demanded has 2 components. Okay. Quantity demanded, the demand has two components, that is substitution effect and income effect. For example, I say that you are buying Mother Dairy ice cream, which is chocolate ice cream, which is of 30 rupees. Okay, not 30 rupees, we have taken 10 rupees. So you are buying Mother Dairy chocolate ice cream at rupees 10. Since you are buying Mother Dairy ice cream at rupees 10, and there is Quality Walls ice cream. Quality Walls ice cream of the same flavor is offered at 5 rupees. 5 rupees. Then what will happen? Mother Dairy ice cream will become expensive, isn't it? So if Mother Dairy ice cream will become expensive, so it has substitution and income effect. Okay. So it has this price effect on price of the quantity demanded is that quantity demand of the good is inversely related to the price. If the price will increase, quantity demanded will decrease. This happens because of substitution effect and income effect. What is substitution effect? Substitution effect is the change in the demand for as a result of change in the relative price of the good. Relative price of the good means when we say that Mother Dairy ice cream with respect to the Quality Walls ice cream, the rate of change. If Mother Dairy ice cream price remains same and Quality Walls ice cream decreases from rupees 10 to 5, if Quality Walls ice cream decreases from rupees 10 to 5, then what will happen? Mother Dairy ice cream becomes expensive. Since Mother Dairy ice cream becomes expensive, we'll be buying less. Or if I say Quality Walls goes at 15 rupees, then Mother Dairy ice cream becomes cheaper. Since Mother Dairy ice cream becomes cheaper, you will buy more of Mother Dairy's ice cream. That means quantity demanded will increase. This is because of the substitution effect. You are substituting Quality Walls with Mother Dairy. Okay, substitution. What are the factors which make substitution effect stronger? If the goods are close substitute. Quality Walls ice cream and Mother Dairy ice cream of the same flavor for you are close up. You can buy Quality Walls, you can also buy Mother Dairy. Okay, if they are close substitutes for you, number one. Number two, it is easy if you get Mother Dairy ice cream wala also and Quality Walls also. So you can easily switch over from one to the other. If that option is not there, then you will buy the one which you're getting, isn't it? So this is also important. Then you are not facing difficulty in terms of buying. So one says, I'll take online payment, other says I'll take in cash. Okay, so one says I'll take in cash, other says I'll take in digital. Then it will be problem. But both says, okay, fine, we are fine with taking in digital form only, then it's fine. Or both says we'll go for cash, then also it is easy. So what makes substitution effect stronger? If the goods are close substitute. Quality Walls and Mother Dairy ice cream, you like both in the same manner. Okay, of the same flavor. Number two, it is easy. You have both the vendors, or the one vendor is having both the ice creams, or the outlet is having both the ice creams, Quality Walls also and Mother Dairy also. Okay, and the third factor is that both are ready to buy in cash, or both are ready to buy in digital. So switchover becomes easy for you. Okay. What is income? So this change in the quantity demanded, of the good this change in quantity demanded is because of the price and price effect. This price effect has two components, substitution effect and income effect. Substitution effect we have done. Now we are discussing about income. Okay, income effect is what? If the price of the good increases and your income remains same, if your income remains same, then what will happen in that case? Then what will happen? Suppose you have 100 rupees and the price of Mother Dairy ice cream increases from 10 to 20 rupees. And you are buying that ice cream. So that means your rupee has become less valuable, isn't it? So you can buy less quantity, though your income is same, but you can buy less quantity. So this is income effect. you have the same level of income. If the price of the good increases, your income decreases, your purchasing power decreases. But if the price of the good decreases, then in that case, if the price of the good decreases, then that case, what will happen? Your income is same. You have 100 rupees only. But if the price of the mother dairy ice cream goes from 10 rupees to 5 rupees, you will have more income, no? So that is income effect. So income effect can be positive. Income effect can be negative also. When income effect will be positive, when the price of the good decreases and it helps you to buy more, then the income effect will be positive. Income effect and substitution effect, how the kind of relationship they have. If suppose you like Domino's pizza, you like ice cream, then if the price will decrease, your income increases, income effect is higher, and then you'll buy more of pizza. That means it is positive. Income effect is positive. With decrease in the price of the good, your income increases and you can buy more. So it is positive. There are other categories of goods. These are inferior goods. So suppose I say that I'm a very poor person, and I can rely on, I can't buy wheat. I rely on what? I rely on those maize and other products, okay, which I'm getting at a lower price. And sometimes I like to have maize chapati with some curd. Okay, I like to have curd with maize chapati. Okay, but what is happening? The price of maize goes up. If the price of maize goes up, then or rather my income increases. My income increases, then will I buy more of maize? Now I can afford wheat. So what will I do? I'll buy less. I will switch over from maize to wheat. This is known as inferior good. Inferior good, which is my inferior good? Maize is my inferior good. For example, you get a job and you start earning. So initially when you earn, you can only afford to buy two-wheel, like bike. Okay, bike. But when your income increases, what happens? You can buy a car. Will you buy a bike? Until unless you have passion for bike, then it's a different issue. But otherwise, what will happen? You'll buy a car. So bike becomes inferior and car becomes the normal. As your income increases, you want to buy better and better quality of car. Okay, so car is a normal. And bike in that case becomes inferior. So that's the relationship between inferior goods and normal good. Okay, so you understand inferior good, income effect. Income effect works in opposite direction with respect to the substitution effect. Income is what? Income effect is what? When the price of the good increases or decreases, your purchasing power increases or decreases. That's income effect. What is substitution effect? Substitution effect is that if the price of one good increases, the substitution impact is on the other good. If the price of mother dairy ice cream remains same, but quality walls ice cream price increases, then mother dairy ice cream becomes cheaper for you because quality walls has become expensive. Substitution effect. Okay, so you may buy more of mother dairy ice cream. But if you believe that mother dairy ice cream is less valuable for you, you will go for some premium quality ice cream. Then in that case, with your increase in income, you will not buy mother dairy ice cream. You will buy some other ice cream. So in case of inferior goods, income effect will become negative. Yes? So this is how it works. Substitution and income effect for the price of the good. Utility maximizing behavior is also there, which makes change in the demand of the good. For example, I say that when you buy something in more quantity, okay, when you buy something in more quantity, what happens? What happens? Price you will be paying less and less only. Reason being, you will derive less utility from that, isn't it? Because you are consuming more, less satisfaction from that, isn't it? But if something is very less in quantity, what happens when you have something very less in quantity? Very less in quantity, you derive very high utility. But when you see that the demand for the product is increasing over the period of time, then in that case, your utility will decrease and you will be ready to buy less Utility maximizing principle is the principle where you as a consumer want to maximize your satisfaction at a given price with the given income and the given factors. Okay. So if you believe that this product will be giving me high level of satisfaction, you will pay high price. But if you believe that this product will give me very less level of satisfaction, then you will not pay price for it. Okay. So when it's a birthday, in your family, then you want to go and give treat. No, want to give treat. So you go to a hotel, then you find it of high utility. Then you are ready to pay high price. But if you're not happy and somebody tells you, I'm giving treat and you come and we will go for sharing, then you will not go for it because you do not find that utility. So how consumer behaves? Consumer wants to maximize satisfaction, and that is what makes the consumer to buy more of the good. So rational consumer will not pay more for lesser satisfaction. If you're getting less satisfaction, you being a rational consumer, you will not pay higher price. You will pay higher price only, for example, oxygen cylinders during COVID. Why people were paying high price for oxygen cylinders? Because they realized that it can help them to safeguard their life. High utility and high price. Utility maximizing behavior of consumers. Arrival of new consumers. If the price of the good is less, what happens when the price of the good is less? If the price of the good is less, what happens? When the price of the good is less, if the price of the good is less, you have seen if car Nano came in the market with low price. So if you cannot afford at high price, but if the price decreases, then your affordability goes up. If your affordability goes up, then the number of consumers will increase. So the number of consumers in that case will increase. So the number of consumers increases. That is the arrival of new consumers. When new consumers will join? New consumers will join when the price of the good will be less. Example, Jio and many consumers started buying. Okay, so this is about good which you can buy at a lower price. So if suppose only 5 consumers are buying, for example, today we see that many people can buy phone. Why people can buy phone? All people can buy phone. No, your sabzi wala, pan wala, everybody can buy phone. How come? Phone prices have reduced. So there are new consumers who have entered in this market, and the overall market demand in that case will increase because the price of the good has decreased. The number of consumers will increase and the overall market demand will increase. Different uses. For example, if I say that milk, okay, milk can be used for making tea, milk can be used for making sweets, milk can be used for making rasgullas, milk can be used for making cheese, isn't it, for different components. Similarly, steel can be used for making cars, steel can be used for making utensils, steel can be used for making sheets for any other product. Okay, so the product which has multiple uses, if the price of that good will increase, if the price of milk will increase, price of every product will increase which is made of milk. Yes, if it is used in different factors, then the demand will get impacted. So the demand for the good, different uses. So different uses is another factor which is very, very important for you to understand different uses of the product. Okay, so this will also make impact on the demand of it. Then what are the exceptions? What we have shared till now is that the price increases, quantity demand of the good decreases, keeping all other factors as constant. But is it possible? And then in that case, the demand is downward sloping, isn't it? But may be possible that in some cases, the price increases and the demand increases. Price increases and the demand increases. We have seen in the case of Veblen. Veblen case, what happened in the Veblen effect? Higher the price, more the demand. So that is not like demand is increasing when the price is increasing. So this is against what exception to the law of demand because both are increasing. Okay, so in the case of Veblen goods, the demand, other people are buying, and that is why you are also buying. Then, irrespective of the Apple iPhone, others are buying, and I'm also buying. What is its demonstration effect? So you buy more and more because despite price of Apple is increasing, Apple phone is increasing, still you're buying because my friends are buying, my relatives are buying, my colleagues are buying, so I will also buy. So it is about demonstration effect. So it is conspicuous. Conspicuous means infectious in nature. Others are doing, I'll also do. It makes you inclined to go for spending more and buying more. So it is exception to the law of demand. Giffen goods, very important concept, Giffen goods. Giffen goods is about what? Giffen goods are goods. We have shared inferior goods. What are inferior goods? So I'm a poor person. I'm consuming maize or bajra with curd. Curd is luxury for me, okay? And I'm having bajra chapati with millet, okay, millet and this curd. Now suppose price of millet increases, and my income is not increasing. If my income is not increasing and price of millet will increase, you think I'll stop eating millet and I'll go for only curd? What is more important for me is millet, isn't it? Millet is more important for me because it helps me to fill my tummy, isn't it? So I feel like I can meet my diet only by having millet, but I can forego curd. So if price of millet is increasing, my income is same, and I like to have millet and curd, what will I do? I can't afford to have more of curd because the price of millet has increased. You remember we have shared demand. What are the three components of demand? Desire, willingness, and ability to pay. Since millet has become expensive and it is my basic necessity, that is why I'm less willing to spend on curd. I'm more willing to spend on millet because this gives me more satisfaction. So Giffen goods are the goods where you do not have close substitutes. It is basic necessity for you. And consumer cannot go for any other product. Since it is a basic necessity, so consumer, if the price of that good will increase, consumer will buy that good. That is known as Giffen good. So what is Giffen good? Higher the price, more the demand of Giffen goods if the income of the person remains same. So income remains same and there are no close substitutes. With increase in the price of the good, you will buy more because that's a staple diet for you. What are inferior goods? Inferior goods are goods when your income increases, the demand for that good will decrease. Okay. So please do remember, all Giffen goods are inferior goods, but all inferior goods are not Giffen goods. If I say bicycle is inferior good, that doesn't mean bicycle is Giffen good for me, isn't it? So, but if I say that maize or millet is inferior good for me, it is also Giffen good for me. So since it is Giffen good, it is also inferior good for me. So low quality products, low quality rice and wheat, which are a component of staple diet for me, is known as Giffen goods because it has a direct relationship between price of the good and demand of it. What is conspicuous necessities? Conspicuous necessities are something that has become part of your life. Since it has become part of your life, you cannot live without that. And you become so used to it that if the price will increase, then also you buy the product. So for example, ACs. Today, people cannot stay without AC, and that is why people will buy AC. But if you look at price of AC over the period of time has increased. So price of AC is increasing, but still people are buying AC. So this is about conspicuous necessities. Another example, cars are becoming expensive day by day. But those people who can't sustain without car, they're buying car by taking loan also because they can't sustain without cars. Conspicuous necessity. Car has become necessity for a certain group of people. They can't go without it. So these products, despite increase in price, still you buy these products because you have become so used to these products. They have become necessity in your life. You cannot sustain without these products. These are known as conspicuous necessity products. Here, law of demand is not going to be applicable because despite increase in price, still you're buying these products. You're not stopping from buying these products because you've become so used to these products. Okay. Incomplete information. Sometimes it happens that you are not so well versed with the market and you believe that this product is of great use. For example, during COVID, certain group of people said that you can have Kada or that remedy, homemade remedy, and for that you need some basic components and you should go for it, which if you are suffering from COVID also, then also you can get relief through that. People didn't think about it. People started consuming it without even once going to the doctor, those who were suffering. And the demand for that particular product increased over the period of time without thinking about it. Since you believe that this can help me and you started consuming it. Irrational behavior of consumers without having enough information, buying the product without analyzing, being rational in approach is also a factor which leads to demand for certain category of goods. So some people, those who go to gym and others, youngsters, they start taking steroids for developing their muscles and becoming more strong. And they do not think twice. So they start consuming because they believe that it's going to create their biceps. So they'll have strong biceps and I'll go for taking steroids and other products. Okay, so this is how these are incomplete information and irrational behavior, which makes people to go for consuming certain category of products, which they can avoid, but still they consume, which has less utility, but still they consume because they believe and they do not think about it. Demand for necessity goods. We have already shared certain goods which are necessity in life. A diabetic patient, if the price of diabetic medicine will increase, still go for buying it. The price may increase. This is again an exception to the law of demand. Speculative, especially for shares and those who trade in the market. If you believe that you buy a stock today, its price is going to go up. Its price is already high and you believe the price will further go up. What do? You start buying. You start buying because you believe the price will further go up. So you start speculating to gain more profit. Once you start speculating to gain more profit, speculating is taking risk and thinking that this will give me more returns. So should I go for buying more stocks? So you start buying more shares. Why do you buy more shares? Because you believe price will further go up. Speculative means आप एक risk ले रहे हैं to gain profit in the long term. Okay, so आप ज्यादा shares खरीदने लग जाते हैं ताकि आपको लगता है कि आगे हमको इससे ज्यादा profit होगा. It is a speculative motive. Okay. Then expansion and the contraction in demand. We have seen law of demand, conspicuous necessities and necessaries. Conspicuous necessities are something which you can, conspicuous necessities are something which you have adopted looking at others and has become part, though you can survive without it. For example, something like going for refrigerator. A refrigerator has become necessity. Refrigerator is necessity in today's world. So we won't say conspicuous necessity, but I'll say necessity today. For example, I say, should I say AC? AC. You can still survive with cooler, isn't it? You can survive with cooler and make your house cool, but still you'll go for AC despite increase in price because you have become conspicuous. It has become conspicuous necessity for you. So AC is a conspicuous necessity, but fridge is a refrigerator is a necessity because refrigerator has become basic. Looking at the temperature which is going up, global warming and others, you can't survive without refrigerator. But without AC, still you can survive, but still you go for it, isn't it? So that is how. Petrol car, you want to car is conspicuous necessity. You can go by metro, you can go through other means also, but still you go by car because you feel that it has become my basic necessity in life, conspicuous necessity. Okay. Now we'll talk about expansion and contraction in demand. See, we have shared Mother Dairy ice cream. Mother Dairy ice cream schedule we have shared. If you buy 10 rupees, then you can buy 2 units. That consumer can buy 2 units. That means if the price is P1, you can buy n units of good. N means 10 rupees price and you can buy 2 units of Mother Dairy ice cream. But if the price goes to 15 rupees, or rather price goes to 40 rupees, or rather 60 rupees, if the price goes to 40 rupees, then consumer A will buy how many units of good? Maybe 2 or 1. Okay, maybe 1. So consumer A will buy 1. If the price goes to 60 rupees or 80 rupees, then the consumer won't buy. So this demand curve, what you see the demand curve here, somebody is playing music. I don't know how can you be so excited to go for playing music in economics class, but definitely don't disturb others. Wanted to share this with you. So this expansion, if you see expansion here, what would be expansion? So if you see expansion here, what would be expansion here? Expansion is you go down. You're going down is expansion. Why is it expansion? Because the quantity demanded is increase, expansion. Why quantity demanded is increasing? Because the price is decreasing. So if the price decreases, quantity demanded increases, and you move down the line, that is expansion. Okay. If the price increases, quantity demanded will decrease. So the quantity demanded will move from right to left. If the quantity demanded decreases, then we say it is contraction. So what is contraction in the demand? Contraction in the demand is quantity demanded is decreasing. Why so? Because the price of the good is increasing. Okay, and expansion is reverse. What is happening in expansion? You are moving from left to right, from L to N is expansion. When you move from N to L, that means it is contraction. What is contraction? Quantity demanded will decrease. Why quantity demanded will decrease? Reason being price of Mother Dairy ice cream has increased, and that is why quantity demanded has decreased, is contraction. If the price of ice cream, Mother Dairy ice cream will decrease, quantity demanded Mother Dairy ice cream will increase, that is expansion. Okay, so expansion and contraction. Now in this case, it's a shift in the demand curve. The shift in the demand curve is basically, you see here the price. This is income. 5,000 rupees is income. And this is 10,000 rupees is income. So this is the demand with respect to Mother Dairy ice cream at different price level, but 2 income categories, 5,000 rupees per month and 10,000 rupees per month. If you see the demand schedule for consumer A with 5,000 rupees per month income, you are on the lower side of the demand. This one, lower side of it. Yes, because at rupees 5, consumer is buying 10 units of goods. So this is 10 rupees 5. And you are at D curve, this D curve, D and A. Okay. But if the price is 5 and income of yours is 10,000 rupees, then the demand will be how much? 15 rather than 10. The demand is, and where are you? You are at A1. So A1 is the demand of which consumer? It is of the consumer who has a income of 10,000 rupees, and this D is the demand of a consumer who has income of 5,000 rupees. If you plot all these coordinates on this curve, the lower curve which you get is demand curve. This curve you see, this schedule you see, the demand here is all throughout less than the demand for this. So here the demand is for 5 rupees, the demand is 10 rupees for 5,000. Here the demand is 15. Here at C, price is rupees 3. Price is same for both. But since the income has increased from 20 to 25, the demand has increased from, the income has increased from 5 to 10,000 rupees. The demand has increased from 20 to 25. So this is known as shift in the demand curve. Demand is increasing at all points of price level. All level of price, the demand is increasing. Reason being of increase in income. So these A dash, B dash, C dash, D dash, E dash is all on a higher side as compared to A, B, C, D, and E. So this curve, demand curve comprising of these coordinates is less than this curve, demand curve with these coordinates. That means there is increase in demand. Increase in demand is shift towards right. This has happened because the consumer income has increased. Okay, so you differentiate between demand, contraction and expansion, and shift in the demand curve. Shift in the demand curve, increase and decrease in demand. So here, this is 5,000 rupees income, and this is 10,000 rupees income. And this is leading to increase in demand at each level. And if the price is rupees 20, what was the price here? Price is rupees 3. Price is 3 and 20 and 25. So price is 3 here. This price is 3 rupees. And this demand is 20 at 5,000 rupees. And this demand is 25 at 10,000 rupees. This is the demand, increase in demand. But if the price goes up, then the quantity demanded will decrease across all throughout. So in this case, if the price goes up from 5 to 4, from 3 to 4, if the price goes up from 3 to 4, if the price goes from 3 to 4, then the demand will change, will increase. 3 to 4, the demand of the consumer will decrease from 20 to 15 for A consumer, and for B, it will decrease from 25 to 20. So this demand decreases from 25 to 20, and that is why the demand, it is this decrease in the demand. Okay, so this is decrease. This happens because of the price of the commodity is increasing, and with the same price of the commodity remains same, but the income of the consumer is less and respectively the demand changes. Increase and decrease in demand with change in income, not change in price of the good, not change in the price of the good. If income increases, you move from D1 to D2. If income decreases, you move from D1 to, you move leftward, decrease. This is increase. So rightward shift is increase, leftward shift in decrease. This happens because of increase in income. If it happens because of increase in income, then it is a normal good. Your income increases, you party, you go, you buy more pizza. It's a normal good. My income increases, then in that case, I switch over from maize to wheat, then it is inferior good. Okay, so normal goods and inferior goods. And this is the last thing I would like to share with you. Leftward and rightward shift we have shared. Rightward shift is increased in demand if the price remains same. Leftward shift is decrease in demand. It is not because of the price, but because of the other factors. What can be other factors? Increase in income. If income increases, then the demand for the good increases. These goods are known as which goods? Normal goods. Example for normal goods is your cake, clothes you like to buy, normal goods, okay? Roaming around with friends, having fruits, vegetables with increase in income. normal goods. A fall in income in case of normal goods. If income decreases, then in the case of normal good, the demand will decrease. But for inferior goods, if there is fall in income, then in the case of fall in income in the case of normal goods and a rise in income in case of inferior goods. If income increases, then you move from inferior goods to better quality goods. Okay, for the inferior goods. Increase in wealth. If wealth increases, then the demand for normal goods will increase. You are born in a rich family, then you can go for buying better quality goods as income increase. So normal goods. Decrease in wealth in the case of normal goods. So the demand will decrease if wealth decreases. But inferior goods, you will move from increase in the case of wealth in the case of inferior goods. Okay, so inferior goods will work in the opposite direction as compared to normal goods. If your income increases, the normal good demand increases. Demand for inferior goods will decrease. If your wealth increases, demand for normal goods will increase and the demand for inferior goods will decrease. If the price of substitute good increases, then the demand will increase. We have shared direct relationship. And here the relationship is inverse. If the price of complementary, remember pizza and cheese. Fall in the price of cheese, demand for this will increase. Demand for pizza will increase. An increase in the number of buyers. If the number of buyers increases, demand will increase. The number of buyers decreases, demand will decrease. Change in the taste and preference. You move from black tea to green tea. Then in that case, demand will decrease. If you like to have more of black tea, then the demand will increase. Rightward shift. Redistribution of income. If income is redistributed from wealthy people to poor people, that means people will have more income, poor people will have more income, and the demand will increase. If the redistribution of income is done in such a manner that poor become more poor and richer becomes more richer, then in that case, the demand overall will decrease. Expectation that price will rise in future. When you expect the prices will rise in the future, then today you will demand more because you do not want to buy at a higher price in future. If you expect that prices in future will fall, the demand will decrease. Government policies, if government gives subsidies, then the demand will increase. If government imposes taxes, demand will decrease. So this is the complete unit which we have covered today. And I just want to recap before we wind up for the day today. What we have shared, number one, what is the demand? So I'll go back to the first slide if I can. So what is demand? Demand has all the three features: desire, willingness, and ability to pay. Determinants of demand are, what are the determinants of demand? Determinants of demand are price of the good, price of related goods. These related goods can be substitute goods, complementary goods, taste and preference, income of a consumer, and external factors. What are the determinants of demand are? Price of the good. If the price of the good increases, demand for the good decreases. But in the case of exceptional goods, like Veblen goods, price increases, demand increases. For example, demonstration effect, then also the price increases and demand may increase because other people are consuming. Snob effect, where you do not want to buy the product because others are buying it. So that's not related to price, but it is about your belief. Law of demand. Law of demand says what? Keeping all other factors as constant, as the price of the good increases, demand decreases, and hence you as a supplier, you always can supply more quantity of good at a lower price. We have seen in the case of Mother Dairy. If Mother Dairy keeps price at 10 rupees, they can create more market demand. If they go for 20 rupees, they lose one of the consumer. And if they go for higher price, they will have no market demand. So if you want to sell in the market, you have to keep the price low for your consumers. But there are certain category of people, those who buy at a higher price. Okay, that is exceptions to the law of demand. Then we have shared movement along and shift in the demand curve. Movement is expansion and contraction in the demand curve. When expansion happens in the case of expansion, when Mother Dairy decreases the price of ice cream from 20 rupees to 10 rupees, consumers can buy more. That is expansion in the demand curve. When Mother Dairy increases the price from 20 rupees to 30 rupees, the quantity demanded of Mother Dairy ice cream decreases. That is contraction in the demand curve. Shift in the demand curve, when income of the consumer increases from 5,000 to 10,000 rupees, consumer can buy more of Mother Dairy ice cream. That is normal good. But if income of a consumer increases from 5,000 to 10,000 rupees and the person was consuming inferior quality good, then in that case, the demand for that good will decrease. That means it will be leftward shift. So this is what we have done today. I could see queries which I have already addressed. Okay, so I could not address your queries through chat. PDF you will be getting, don't worry about that. Okay. So I'm through. Shall I wind up? Hello. Yes, yes. Okay, thank you. Thank you to all of you. Let's take care.